Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of R2-D2 in the brand new scale, which is larger than the old scale. The Mandalorian R2-D2 was solicited first, and it was the real hype was that it's a bigger R2-D2 to replace the smaller ones that I didn't even know were out of scale. I didn't pay much attention. I just assumed they were in scale. And then the Return of the Jedi 40th anniversary one was announced, and I thought, well, that's awesome. I'll get that too, because I thought maybe there'd be a point of difference in the Return of the Jedi. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention. I love R2-D2. I have a lot of R2-D2s, including a lot of ones that are basically the same. And this looks like it's exactly the same. It has the same 6 accessories here, the exact same paint job, exact same sheen in all of the places, exact same sculpting. I don't know if it's the exact same size. It looks like it's the exact same size. I tried to compare them as best as I could, and they look like they're both in the new scale. I have a original scale figure that I'll pull out a little bit later for comparison, but I think I'm only going to open this one. I'm going to keep this one in the package. I like the idea of having the very first R2-D2 in the new scale in its packaging. I have the original from the first wave in its packaging also. I actually have all of the first wave figures in the original packaging and open, because I really loved it. I didn't know if I was going to be an in-box collector or an out-of-box collector. And of course, I ran out of a lot of space pretty quickly. But this is what the Mandalorian R2-D2 looks like. It's a cool artwork on the back, but very cool artwork on the side. Of course, it's supposed to pair with other figures. That's probably Dark Trooper, maybe? I'm not sure. Luke Skywalker probably stands next to him on this side. I'm not sure, but it's really nice art there. Also, if you're getting a series of these and you like to line them up, it probably makes a really cool image that way. The Return of the Jedi one is supposed to resemble the original 3 3/4 one. Of course, it is for the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. On the back has sort of similar features to the original card. It has a list of the figures that come out in that wave. Of course, I think with the 40th anniversary figures, the pattern seems to be 6 at a time until you get to 12. And then with things like the A New Hope 40th anniversary, they did some things like they dropped a GameStop exclusive R5-D4 and things like that. So there were some figures that accentuated that 40th anniversary, but there's usually a solid 12, and there was for A New Hope and for Empire Strikes Back. A New Hope was a little bit different because they included a Darth Vader with kind of a legacy thing. So Darth Vader was carded, but it was included with a large backdrop piece. So it was different from the rest of the line. It's still really cool, and I still have one that was not opened, and I have the 40th Star Wars ones all unopened. The Empire Strikes Back ones and the Return of the Jedi ones I didn't get. I did get these 3 Luke, Vader, and R2. I'm not sure why I got Luke. I just got a Mandalorian Luke, and I'm pretty sure they're the same. But I'm also not sure now why I got R2-D2. It's a mystery. But I'm only going to open him, so I will have one in box and one out of box. So let's take a closer look at R2-D2 when he is out of the box. Now that at least one of them is out of the package, let's take a closer look at R2-D2 from the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi / The Mandalorian, because you couldn't tell the difference between these two if you wanted to. So start with, it looks amazing, just like an R2-D2 would, just like the original did. It looked awesome. It has the 2 panels here. It has the panel on top, has the foot that comes down. The foot doesn't come down by kind of pressing in and triggering sort of a mechanism. It also doesn't come down if you twist the head or anything like that. The head is extremely clean, so the panel is just really tough to find. You just have to kind put a thumbnail in there and pry that off. It comes off real easy, at least mine does. And then you can plug things in like the radar dish, which is cool. Or the sensor scope. It's going to put the panel back in. And boom, seamless once again. The two panels on the side open right up. Okay, that second panel was a little difficult to get open. I had to use an X-Acto knife to get it open. They're easy to open once you can get the angle on them. I opened that one with a thumbnail, but I had to open that one with an X-Acto knife, which is fine. So let's see, I already went over the radar dish and the sensor scope because I could attach them to the front. He also has this, which is the thing that plugs into the thing and it spins around and he can access things. Has a little blaster, which I don't know if this is kind of a little blasts electricity or just it's got a little hair on it. There we go. Move that. Cat hair. Little pistol. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I can't remember. That's definitely the shocker. Where he goes, zzz, zzz, he sort of shocks people with it. And then this is just a grabber, which is very cool. Wish that, because it was Return of Jedi, it came with that little buzzsaw attachment that gets through the net when they're captured and they're all wrapped up in the net. And R2 pops out the thing and C-3PO says, hey man, maybe you should tell people what you're doing and not make it a surprise. And then they all fall because it's a surprise. So inside there's 3 ports on each side. So you decide on the height of each plug-in. So the plug-in can go on either side, on either depth. So you have 6 different choices for each thing that you would plug in. So that makes it so that you can really decide which side you want to shoot the figure on or what that figure kind of fits into. It gives you a lot of playability, which isn't really why you're collecting these, but it gives you a lot of ways to sort of pose it, a lot of ways to sort of display it on your shelf, and that's very cool. So I'm going to close these ports for the last time. Just kidding. And let's look at that third wheel, if I can get that out easily. I had to get this out with the help of with a screwdriver, a real small screwdriver. Once it's in there, it's difficult to kind of pull out without a little bit of leverage. Like I said, twisting the head doesn't drop the leg. You have to just kind of be able to get a good grip on it. You can use an X-Acto knife or a little screwdriver or something else, but it has to be something hard enough to do that. You can't reach kind of a piece of cardboard up there or anything. I already tried that. So it's got little fake wheels on the bottom. That's very cool. Same with this. It's articulated as are the arms here and the feet here, and it's articulated in the head. It swivels around. See, the third leg is out. I'll leave it like that. There's one other bonus thing that no other R2-D2 in the Black Series has ever had before, and that's this kind of hidden compartment. With the head facing straight ahead, the compartment goes up and down, but if you turn it, the compartment doesn't go down anymore. And it also will go all the way to the back, and then it will close, so you can have the head on backwards. But once it's down, you can fully rotate the figure's head any way you feel like it. But the figure's head has to be pointing either to the front or the back to release the inside. There we go. And this is meant to keep these little pieces, the little individual pieces. So let me see if I can do that. I don't know if all the tools have a space in here. They all have kind of little channels, but they fall out really easy, and the sensor scope doesn't seem to fit into anything really. Let's see. Oh, it does seem to go down. Okay, there we go. Now pulling it back up could be a problem because all that stuff is loose inside of them. See, no, it comes out. Okay, great. So no problem popping that back up. I think now that it's all kind of bunched up, let me see if I can put that back down. Yeah, the channels would be ideal, but I couldn't make them fit into the channels. I'm going to push that back in. And I'm going to look at the original R2-D2, the very first one that came out for the Black Series. So you can see kind of how far that has come. Here we go. That's how much bigger the new one is than the old one was. The old one, there's just a real marked difference. So it's not just a little, it's maybe a 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch smaller than this one. It has all the same stuff. It has the panel that pops off on top. It has the panels inside. Of course, it came with other tools, but these tools were kind of inside of it already. The first one came with these tools. I don't know. It came with other tools. I can't remember if it was just stuff for the sensor scope and the radar dish, or what those other pieces were. But of course, you put those back down, then you push those back in, and they had little tabs on the side. I don't know if you can see the little tabs that make it a little bit easier to pry those open. On the new one, of course, the tabs are invisible. Everything is kind of seamless. Everything fits together well. Of course, the very first version, you had to unscrew the head to get that third wheel down. And when Disney was doing the, can't push that back up. I gotta unscrew that. There we go. When Disney was giving the when Disney was giving the die-cast a shot, that was how large the die-cast one was. That's probably more of a 7-inch scale, but you can see it's much larger than the 6-inch true scale, which is what this is supposed to be, and the 6-inch scale that came out in the very first wave. This is a first wave R2-D2. This is the 2023 version, and this, of course, is from the Elite collection, which was die-cast. This thing's like 3 or 4 pounds. You could kill an intruder with this. You push the third wheel back up, and then, of course, you push on it, and it comes right out. That's how that worked. Just the head moved. It's just great. The Elite figure was a great figure. There were some real great figures in the Elite line. I liked it quite a bit, but it wasn't sustainable. You couldn't... Disney Store was the only place you could get them, and they were a little... I don't think they were pricey. But it was just obnoxious. And if you wanted to get rid of a few of them or trade them on the internet, you'd have to pay a ton of money to ship them to somebody else in trade for something. So you'd have to spend $20 on the figure, and then you'd have to turn around and spend $25 shipping the figure to some other collector so that they can spend $25 to ship it over to you. So by the time you were done with a trade, you'd paid $45 for the figure you got. But now that this figure is scaled more correctly, looking forward to a true scale R5-D4. I have the very first version from GameStop here, and he's super cool. But he's small in stature also. So looking forward to getting a larger R5-D4 when that comes out, and of course looking forward to more droids in the larger scale. So until next time. Enjoy all of your toys.